Space, the boundary of human achievement, the new frontier.
It's just a cough.
Yeah, right. And the Earth is flat.
Treat your cough seriously with Robitussin CF Max. Nothing lasts longer and treats more symptoms for your cough, cold, and flu. Robitussin, because it's never just a cough.
In a few moments, you will have an experience which will seem completely real. It will be the result of your subconscious fears transformed to your conscious awareness. Warning, this tape must not be played by government personnel. It can be extremely harmful and result in severe trauma. You have 5 seconds to terminate this tape. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hold him. Now you listen to me, you hillbilly punk who thinks the world's still round. I'm here to tell you it's not. It's flat.
Lexi, tell us something interesting.
Okay, the Earth is flat, and a witch stole his pants.
Flat Earth expert Mark Sargent thinks the moon landing was a hoax.
Technically, the moon itself is a hoax.
Right, but betting with Sportsbet's new iPhone app?
I could do this standing on my head.
Thanks, Gravity. Sportsbet's new iPhone app. It's foolproof.
I know how we're different. Do you believe the Earth is flat?
I know it's flat. I walk on it.
Holy
Do you think the Earth is flat, Snoop? What do you
It's a flat world after all.
Smoke weed every day.
Und jetzt der Verkehr. Vorsicht, liebe Autofahrer, auf der A3 Oberhausen Richtung Arnheim ist die linke Spur aufgrund eines UFO-Absturzes.
Broadcasting straight to you from a large spaceship currently at war with mainstream science. Meanwhile, the peanut gallery has made a giant bucket of popcorn with lots and lots of extra butter, getting all comfy on the couch with a giant Coca-Cola, what, no cigarettes, and Reese's peanut butter cups. What movie is he about to watch? Why, the actual events of 2024. It's turning out to be the most entertaining thing currently out there. Welcome to Strange World, where the truth is often stranger than fiction. I'm your host, Mark Sargent, the creator of Flat Earth Clues, which propose that all of us are living inside a Truman Show enclosed structure thousands of miles wide. Just Google Flat Earth Mark. If you can't find it, well, you're just not very good at the internet. Currently, this show is on Tuesday nights at 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern. And yes, Caroline, if it is not, I really have to look. March 26th, 2024, the year of the Wood Dragon. Then you are listening to a rerun. Quote of the day goes exactly like these two things. And I'm not going to do the Russian accent for the first one. The adversary should not remain in a state of comfort, believing that the war he is waging with the help of another country will not affect him in any way. In other words, it is necessary to put fear back into the minds and hearts of the enemy's leaders. The beneficial sort of fear. Who said that? Dmitry Trenin, Russian International Affairs Council. Yeah, he just said that this week.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, wonder what he's getting at. Huh? I know. The other one goes like this. I used to think that survival of the fittest was the rule. It's not. Be smarter than who you are up against. If you can't be that, be clever. And if you can't be clever, find a way to cheat the system. Who said that? Me, just now. I came up with it just before the show. My co-host, she's lovely, she's sassy, and she is one of the biggest Flat Earth rock stars ever, Karen B. from the channel Karen B. and Monday Morning Coffee Talk. Hey, Karen.
Hey, Mark.
How are you?
I'm just great.
Hey, by the way, why'd your stream have to break up into two?
Because YouTube, whatever, sometimes YouTube craps out on me and it kicks my stream off and then it restarts because the way Streamlabs is set up, it starts up at...
Yeah. Bastards. Either way, both segments are out there. That's nice. And hey, it's another Tuesday, so we got to do that thing we do. Hey, Karen, being the current queen of Flat Earth, it must be hard to find Flat Earth friends. Do you know an easy way to find cool people like yourself and solid info about our stationary, horizontal, level plane?
Sure, that would be the Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app.
He said it with enthusiasm. It's the perfect gift for friends, family, and complete strangers. Watch the featured video every day for 2 weeks and see what happens. It'll be the best $2.99 you've ever spent. I'm waiting for David to give me a thumbs up somewhere. Oh, so sleepy. And because it's 10 p.m. on the East Coast, it's time to say goodnight to one of our listeners, Paige. She just put on her underdog pajamas, got a cup of cocoa with exactly 6 tiny marshmallows, and probably will listen to the playback in the morning. Good night, Paige.
Night, Paige.
Don't forget, you can also find this program on BitChute and Brighteon, Rockfin, and Rumble. YouTube is not the end of Flat Earth. It is just the beginning. Shout-outs, well, obviously, to Flat Earther Stephen Carpenter of the Deftones. Support the Flat Earth cause and get the coolest hoodies ever. Go to thestrong.family, won't you? Pick up some merch. So, Mailbag. I'm going to turn on one of my lights for this one. So I got a couple things in the mail. As you guys know, you can mail anything to my physical address. It is 2125 Myres Lane, Langley, not Langley, 982 through what? Anything what? What did I miss? What? I haven't gotten to the meetups yet. What? Yes, anything. They can send me anything, Peanut. Don't send weird stuff. You can mail anything. I don't know. Can you mail anything? I think you can. Don't mail me drugs or guns. That's illegal. Okay, so the first one was, I mean, you can try, I suppose. A nice handwritten letter, and I think it was written in pencil, which is awfully nice. But I won't read the letter, but it's a longtime listener of the show. It's from Kimberly Black. And she went to something recently, and she picked up 2 things. One, she picked up a book. Again, I love people, they take jabs at me every once in a while. She's not a troll. Called We Reach the Moon by John Noble Wilford from the New York. It's a New York Times bestseller. We Reach the Moon. Again, this is part of the propaganda thing that's out there. Sometimes people send it me ironically. It's like really, really great because this will go on the fire pit. You know that. And a plastic plate, One Small Step for Man, One Giant Leap for Mankind, a Michael Collins commemorative 60s moon plate. That's kind of fun. So thank you for that. Appreciate it. And thank you for listening to the show. The big box of the week, and I'm not going to be able to do them all, but I'm going to show you some of them. So as you know, a guy out in Vegas named Christian, who could be dying or just clearing out his den, and people have figured out, I'll use a Lowry quote, don't bother sending your stuff to storage. Just put it in cardboard boxes and send it to me, because why not? And so I'm not kidding you. There's got to be 25 t-shirts in here, all XLs. So I'm just going to rattle off my top 10, right? This is from Margaritaville. It's the Margaritaville. I think this is in Vegas. Margaritaville shirt. These two I'm going to bring to you the next time I see you, Karen. This one is Save Harry. It's a forest fire thing. Save our forests and Harry. So they use Bigfoot as their mascot. And they list all the forest fires on the back. And it's like, again, that's pretty clever, right? So you get that one, Karen. I'm not going to mail it to you, though. I'm going to have to see you in person, so you know what that means. This one's also for you, the Squatch.
I like that.
Yeah. So these will be these are XLs, so you'd swim in these. So these are gonna have to be your nighttime shirts. Ooh, very nice. Humans are a hoax. I love that.
That's probably my favorite Bigfoot shirt I've got right now.
I mean, this guy's all over the map with t-shirts. Star Wars comic book graphics. There you go. Star Wars endorsed. Probably wearing that while I mow the lawn. And then it's weird stuff like Halloween the movie. Everyone is entitled to a good scare. Really? I've never even seen a Halloween the movie t-shirt.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's creepy.
That's pretty creepy. And, again, because this guy's a big Walking Dead fiend, he sent me at least 3 Walking Dead shirts. Here's one, Walking Dead. And another one I was wearing just the other day said, all my friends are walkers. I thought that was kind of cool. Really, really nostalgic ones. This one's really cool because it's deliberately faded. I don't think it was ever worn. I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Oh my God.
I know. That is just a freaking righteous shirt. Product placement. I love it. I think I maybe had 1 bowl of Cocoa Puffs in my entire life. And that's because I had to go to a friend's house because my mom would not buy sugared cereal. And then we get to my 2 favorite my 3 favorite ones. This one is No Mistakes, Just Happy Accidents. I don't even have to tell you who that is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Bob Ross.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff. One of the best froze on television. Rest in peace, Bob Ross. And then talk about a collector's item. Oh my Lord. Okay, so this is Route 66 in the front. You know who's on the back? Get this. This one's never been worn. I don't know if I'm going to give this away at the conference or I'm going to keep it. I'm not sure. Check this out. Mad Mike launch 2017.
Get out of town.
I know. I didn't even know these things existed. And it's a Mad Mike Hughes shot. Guy, by the way, if you guys didn't realize,
I have never seen a Mad Mike shirt.
I know, neither did I. How weird.
And the rocket says research flat Earth. You can't get rid of that. You have to
I probably shouldn't get it. I probably should keep that. I mean, especially since the guy tried to sue me.
Right? He tried to steal your identity.
Yeah, he did. And last but not least, we'll show off the shirt that I am wearing. So if you guys know rap, this is a mix. So this is a Star Trek shirt, and it says, "Trek yourself before you wreck yourself." Yeah, that's nerd weapon grade humor right there. That is clever stuff. And you got Spock on the front throwing gang signs with the Vulcan gang sign. I know, that is awesome. So I had to wear it for the show. So thank you. Good stuff. Appreciate it. And Karen's gonna get some of these. Again, probably not mailing, but you at least get 2 of those. And I've got another 10 shirts in the freaking closet. I'm not even going to show you. Weird stuff, like a white shirt with ramen noodle cup on the front of it. That's all it is. No context. Christian, you are a strange dude.
Is this the same guy was sending you books?
Yes. Same guy. Now he's going through the closet. What am I going to get next? A motorcycle? What the hell, dude? My birthday is coming up, by the way, April 24th. So you want to send me some really weird stuff? Go right ahead. I honestly don't know what's going to come next. Furniture? I didn't expect you to start emptying out your closet. And now he's probably laughing, going, "What could I send next?" Okay. Let's do some meetups real fast. One sec. Gotta pull up my meetups. I think there's only a couple out there at the moment, unless Karen's got some. We burned through some this last weekend. So the meetups are as follows. There's April 14th. That's going to be in Vegas. That promo is on my channel. March 26th. That's today, isn't it? March
Mhm.
26th in West UK. That one's over. I got to kill that one as soon as we're done. We're going to break. And of course, April 8th out. That's going to be part of the Eclipse thing. That's going to be Alex Lowry and David Weiss and Zulu.
Mhm.
Do you have any others besides those three?
April 27th, Lake Butler, Florida. April 14th, Flat Coast, Florida is on my website. And also Jam the Plane #4 in Colorado Springs, Colorado is coming up in June, which is a camping one.
Okay.
And that's, I believe it.
All right. So we are caught up. All right. We do have quite a busy week in terms of headlines. 2024, as Peanut mentioned in the beginning of the show, it is not disappointing. We haven't even gotten to the eclipse yet. 2024 is living up to the hype so far, and some things that even happened this morning and last night. So I want to tell you the things we've gotten to the point now. I'm telling you things we're not going to cover tonight, unless you guys want to talk to them during the phone calls. You can ask me about them. We are not going to be covering the cargo ship from Singapore, which was actually leaving port on its way back through the Panama Canal and crashed into the bridge in Baltimore, which happens to be the second most strategic bridge in the entire country. Not going to be talking about it because that just happened. The what?
What's the first one?
It's funny. Peanut and I were speculating on that. I thought it was the George Washington Bridge, but that might be that. I think it's just sheer cars. Strategically, I couldn't find it. No, who knows? Peanut will have to.
You think it could be Coronado, San Diego?
Maybe. It's going to be. I would imagine it's going to be very similar to this one, which is that this particular bridge. Why it's strategic? It was designed to run hazardous materials, so it didn't have to go through the tunnels. Because you don't want to run hazardous materials through tunnels in case something goes wrong, because then it's a nightmare. Yeah, Peanut says San Francisco Bay Bridge would cause all kinds of havoc. Yeah, if you want to do a West Coast type thing. Although
the Bay Bridge collapsed during the earthquake.
There's that.
It was down for a while. There's like 4 bridges that go across the bay, so it's like
Plus you have to find one that you can take out. Again, we may talk about that. We're also we'll see if we can get to it. We're also not going to be covering the P. Diddy, otherwise known as Puff Daddy, raid where he took his private jet and left. I think he took his Gulfstream 5 down to Antigua because they can't extradite him from there. That's the rumor anyway. You guys can look up the details on that because again, I think both those stories are going to develop into bigger things as we move along. But as Karen knows, running is always a good idea. Nothing could go wrong by running. making a break for it. That's a great idea. Especially if you're rich and high profile and everybody knows what you look like.
I mean, if you got a private jet, use it.
Oh no.
I would.
Again, if your attorney calls you, I treat it no differently than when the attorney called Tom Brady and he said, delete your phone during Deflategate. Just delete it. Erase your freaking phone. We'll deal with the blowback later. And he did, and he was fine. And he retired. He's going to be first ballot Hall of Fame. No problem. If an attorney calls you and says, hey, how fast can you get to your Gulfstream with like a couple briefcases of cash and get the hell out of Dodge? And then just hang out on a tropical island for a while until we can figure out what to do. And so there you go. Anyway. All right, let's get to the first headline. First official headline. As if we didn't already have enough. What happened last week? Well, this is from RT.com, otherwise known as RussiaToday.com. Official death toll in Moscow terror attack climbs to 139. So if you guys didn't know, the Crocus City Hall. So it's an event center in Moscow. Right on the outskirts of Moscow. There's a bunch of guys that went in there with automatic weapons and lit the place up. And then to add good measure, they set off bombs and burned it to the ground. And I'm serious. It's a miracle. Normally I do not advise people playing dead, but there were so many dead that most of the survivors were just plain dead because there were so many on the ground. And there was something like 6,000 people in there. Most of them got out, which is great. Wonderful. Happy for you. So why do I mention this? Why is this the number one story? Because this, I have a funny feeling, led a chain of events because Russia, this was too public. You want to blow up a factory, you want to blow up a power plant in Russia. I'm talking about NATO and the US using Ukraine as puppets for this. You can do that, but this was awfully public, really, really public.
Well, and it specifically targeted civilians.
Yeah.
Like this isn't like a military target.
Yeah, this would be like if somebody hit one of our sporting events or something
Like if you went and
or-
shot up like Madison Square Garden and blew it up or something.
There you go. That's a great example. Madison Square Garden, which is a little bigger, but still, that was not a good thing. And the Russians don't forget, they are going to find exactly who's tied to this thing. And again, if the SAS and American advisors aren't tied in, I'd be surprised, but we'll get to that. Next one down, which is Newsweek.com. And the reason why I bring this up is, oh, hey, look, U.S. Embassy warned Americans to avoid Moscow concert weeks before attacks. Huh. Why would they do that, you think? Why would they tell America? Because as far as I know, no Americans died in this thing, which is kind of odd. 6,000 people, no Americans. Americans weren't even there, probably because the Americans got the little bulletin that said, don't go. Why would our intelligence network tell Americans not to go? Well, because we look after our own. Could be suspicious. You guys can read into it any way you want. So there you go. Those were the two big things. Now we've got a separate section because we're going to drop the Where is Princess Kate? But we'll get to that in a second because it'll be the last week we do that until something blows up on that end. But we're going to go to the eclipse now because, as you guys know, on April 8th, Karen's going to be attending. She's going. What state are you going to be in when the eclipse happens?
Indiana.
You're going to be in Indiana. Peanut is going to be in Broken Bow, Oklahoma, which is good. David and Zulu and Lowry are going to be up in Buffalo, New York, I think, or up in Upper New York, some casino.
Yeah, in New York. That's on the website, the April 8th Eclipse meetup.
So, and for you guys who don't know, Karen, can you pull up the blue map that I sent over in Skype chat?
Let me.
So just so you guys know, while she's pulling this up, the cities, because the whole thing is going to be over in an hour, and you'll know because next week that'll be part of the title of the show. So the big population centers it goes through on the way out. It's going to start out in San Antonio, Texas. It's going to go through Austin, then Dallas, Little Rock, Arkansas, Indianapolis, Toledo, Cleveland, Erie, PA, Buffalo, New York, and then it heads out towards the top of Vermont and into Nova Scotia. So, and oops, crap, did I just close Skype? Damn it. Sorry. Hang on. 1 second. And then the other map, let's pull up the NASA map. Love the fact that the best one is NASA. So the NASA map, by the way, the whole thing is going to be over in an hour because it's going to start at 1:30 Central Time in Texas. And by the time it hits Buffalo, New York, it's only 3:30 Eastern. So it's moving really at a fast clip. So it's gonna cover the whole place. And you guys want these maps? You can look them up. Look up the 2024 total solar eclipse NASA map. I think it's actually the best map out there.
Interesting that the eclipse, like the total time from beginning to end for it to go across is going so fast, but then the actual time of totality is much longer for this eclipse. You remember that?
Yeah.
You talking about that? And then like last time, the totality was shorter, but the eclipse length of it running across was longer.
Right. Yeah, it is weird. And again, the path is so much wider. Remember the path during 2017, which I happened to watch up in Newberg, Oregon back in the day, was it was only 70 miles wide, and this one's 120 miles wide. And you can see with the NASA map how it kind of elongates and stretches out. But yeah, there's a lot of weird things about this eclipse, and we'll talk about it. Okay, so let's get to the obvious things. Do I believe in all the hype? No, but mostly because I'm jaded. I'm older. I was there, during when Y2K nothing happened, and Nibiru nothing happened, and nothing ever happened ever with anything ever, right? Nothing biblical ever happened. However, credit to evangelical people, you are going to jump on this. So the very first link, let's get this one over with. This is from the Revelation Tribulation Timeline.com. And yeah, is this the end of America? The United States is set to fall at noon, April 8th, 2024. There's the countdown. So 12 days left of America. That might be a bit extreme. I think you might be hyping this up a little much. Call me crazy, but I don't see America, falling necessarily. Let's get to the next one, Dan. However, that being said, right? Look at this. Well, hey, there's the NASA map again. FAA issues warning. This is from Discern TV. Warning for air travel disruptions during total solar eclipse on April 8th. Sure enough. The FAA says the celestial event set to cast a path of totality across 13 states is anticipated to impact air travel operations before, during, and after the eclipse. Now, not very long, unless it turns into a Death Star and starts carving a black beam of death throughout the other thing. Remember, the whole thing only lasts an hour. So, I mean, again, yes, if you're in it, again, officially, do I think anything is going to happen? No. But just like last week, unofficially, if you're in it, could you see, could there be electromagnetic storms and lightning and gravity wells and reverse vampires and aliens and possibly werewolves? Sure. Why not? Could happen. I wouldn't put folding money on it though. All right, next one down. Fox News. But this is true again. This is the hype. Once this is peer pressure. This is the ASH experiment, ASCH, which is once the first people start doing it, everybody else is going to jump on the bandwagon. So once the first schools started closing, so here we go. For solar eclipse on April 8th, some U.S. schools will be closed for the day. Experts share safety protocols to protect people's vision. So they're blaming it on, they're saying, we're not going to be able to stop the kids from looking at the eclipse. So basically, every school that's in the totality path is going to, they're going to close that day because they just don't want to take any chances. You don't want to be that superintendent that leaves your school open and then all of a sudden, all the kids' eyes turn black and they start walking around chanting Egyptian dead languages and eating people's brains.
That would be bad.
Emotap. Okay, last one, and then we'll talk about the Nivea thing, and then we'll go to break, and then we'll pick it up on the other side. This one's kind of weird, Karen, this is from popsci.com. NASA needs your smartphone during April's solar eclipse. The free Sun Sketcher app will use your phone's camera to record the event and help study the sun's oblateness.
Oh, brother.
Okay, that sounds like a great idea for the truth community. Download a NASA app. It's free. What could go wrong? And then and then you use it, and then not only do you download it, you point it at the sun, and you see what happens. Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea.
No.
I just don't. I think that's a terrible idea.
No, you're not supposed to. No. It's probably not really good for your phone camera either.
Yeah, it also says, oh, yeah, and use your camera. The agency is calling on anyone within the path of totality to participate in its Sun Sketcher program. Whatever. I bet you some people will do it, but I haven't seen it. It hasn't been very popular. Okay. Last but not least, before we go to break, I want to talk about this briefly. And we'll open with Princess Kate on the backside, and we'll do Lucky Unlucky because I think it's a nice segue. So, as you know, we had callers last week that are convinced that, yes, the path of totality will render everybody, in some sort of mindless state, and they will instantly want to consume human flesh. So I get, I understood that in the 2017 eclipse, Karen probably didn't know this. You know how many Salems there are in the United States?
How many? I don't know. There's a bunch.
26 Salems. And during the 2017 eclipse, the path of totality went through 7 of them, right? So 7, and that's not very weird at all. I mean, you slice it any way you want, you're probably going to hit 7, right? And then people kept saying, look at Nineveh, which is spelled Nine Va, right? Va, right?
Yeah, so, Nineveh, yeah.
Nineveh. So it's like, okay, why? Because there are 7, exactly 7 Ninevehs in the country. Here's where it's weird. There's a Nineveh in every state that gets totality, with exception for 1. So there's a Nineveh in Texas, Indiana, Missouri, Pennsylvania, New York, Ohio, And there's one in Virginia. However, law of averages says that, Virginia is over to the east, so it's not, but Virginia will still see it. It's still going to be in like the 80% totality range. But so it hits 7 out of 7. It's going to affect 7 out of 7 in the United States. And then while it's on its way out where it goes through Nova Scotia, it's going to run by Nineveh, Nova Scotia. And you're probably saying, well, how many Ninevehs are there in Canada? 1. So it's 8 for 8. So yeah, I realize I am not going to be able to talk anyone in the evangelical circles out of the weird coincidence that this is. I hear
Even though all eclipses are part of a cycle, like they already know these eclipses are going to happen. They're part of several cycles.
I know.
So
I know.
it's entirely possible that these cities were named knowing that.
I know. And well, again, Nineveh is tied to, if I'm not mistaken, it's Jonah.
Babylon.
Yeah. Well, that and the city of Nineveh, which was spared, which Jonah, from what I understand, and I had to get a refresher on this, where Jonah wanted that city to burn. He was like disappointed that God didn't burn it. God's like, warn the people and they'll repent, and therefore I don't have to destroy the city. And he did, but he didn't like what they were doing. And it's like, well, yeah, they repented, but they deserved to die, right? They deserved to get wiped out, and God was chastising them for it. It's like, really, you were more upset about this tree that I wiped out? It's like, you really wanted the city to go. And I said, yeah, I did. It was a weird conversation, weird exchange. So yes, people are making biblical connections. It's like, and I know what you're saying. It's like America deserves it. I get it, right? It's like Nineveh is going to be America, but America's not going to listen because they didn't heed the warning from 2017. I get the whole connection thing. I just don't think there's anything biblical that comes of it. But before we go to break, I want to mention this. Do I think anything biblical is going to come of it? No. But if you wanted to pull some ninja crap in the United States, man, would this be an opportunity, because people are going to be freaked out, right? You pull something in one of those major cities, because remember, there was a lot of major cities there listed off, Cleveland and Dallas and Little Rock. I mean, if you pulled off something in one of those cities during the eclipse, oh man, that is a psychological force multiplier right there. So, you guys are listening. That's what I would do. So again, ninjas possibly, biblical, I doubt it, because again, what do you really think that the lightning strikes are going to start once it crosses from Mexico? Remember, because it goes through Mexico. By the way, it blows just off the coast of Cabo, goes through the heart of Mexico. So Mexico's fine. America, bam, 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 blow up, zombies, vampires. And then it leaves the United States and it turns off, and Nova Scotia is fine. Yeah, I don't know. I know you think it's Mystery Babylon, but I don't know. I'm not gonna bet the farm on this one. I'm just not. There you go. It's my stance.
I would agree.
With that, thank you, Karen. With that, let us go to break. And when we come back, we'll do our last segment of Where's Princess Kate? And we'll talk about that a little bit. Then we'll get into Lucky Unlucky. Karen, play that funky music, white boy.
There are some exciting new features on the Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app. Our new Profiles module allows you to create a personalized wall with as much or as little information as you like. Connect with other blue dots anywhere across our amazing Flat Earth plane. Share your favorite images, videos, and stories on your wall. Search for other blue dots by using keywords or by name.
He's back.
You never know who you might meet. Add friends to your Flat Earth circle. Keep track of your friend requests and invites from others in the Request tab. See what your friends are up to and interact with them. In the Edit section of your profile, scroll down to the Search Terms for Your Profile section and add in all of your hobbies and talents, so other blue dots can connect with you. From any group chat, long press on the comment to directly link to that user's profile. From a one-to-one chat, click the info button on the upper right to see your options. Invite them to be in your circle of friends. With the simple swipe to the left, you can now mute notifications for selected groups of your choosing. Our images section has gotten a big upgrade. You can now use keyword searching to bring up all of the images that you're looking for. No more scrolling and hunting. We plan on adding thousands of more images as we get them from blue dots across the plane. If you are seeing this video, it's time to update your app and find your tribe.
Join me, Karen B, every moon day at 9:30 a.m. for Coffee Talk on YouTube, Rumble, and Rockfin. You never know what you'll learn about in the coffee shop. Open topic and open phones, y'all.
Lawnmower maintenance, that's what you learn about. Welcome back to Strange World, part 2 of 4. It's you, me, the always lovely Karen B, and Peanut. He's in parentheses, that's why you can't hear him. Yeah, you know what? That was Joe Jackson stepping out from his album.
Night and day.
Yep. Okay, so we are just punched through most of the headlines, but now we get to what I am sad because it was my favorite section recently, but now not so much, which is where is Princess Kate? So if you guys were living in a cave over the last week, again, this happened so much happened this week. The Princess of Wales, Kate Middleton, this is from TMZ, the finest journalist in the world. She did, I mean, the press release was perfect. It was absolutely flawless. You want to know how much power the royal family has? They sent out this news clip to all the news services and they said, do not release it before 11 a.m. Pacific time. And they did exactly that. I had all the news feeds on my TV, a bunch of different channels on the set. And once the BBC, within 15 seconds, the BBC rolling, all the other channels rolled it. And it was her sitting on a bench in one of the estates talking about how much support she was getting and how she has been diagnosed with cancer and so on and so on. So I want to bring this up really quick because I know there's people who are going to say it's a deep fake. Do I think it's a possible deep fake? Yeah, sure. Why not? I think that at the very least, I don't care about the ring. I don't care about her hair so much. There were a couple, I mean, the biggest one obviously is why wasn't her husband sitting there with her? And that is because, well, if you're going to do a deep fake, you can't, it's way tougher to do it with two people than one. However, one of the other things you want to look at, because most people didn't see it because they were watching it on their phone, was the stripes on her shirt, on the right-hand side of her shirt, were reflecting off of the matte gray, which was on the side of the screen, which was on the slat, and it was in the shade on top of that. And that only happens in computers when you have a computer glitch, which is there's no way the stripes, those black stripes, and that sort of lighting condition should have reflected off a non-reflective surface that was there. So, but here's why it was brilliant. Yeah, up until now, I mean, everything they've done was a soup sandwich, which was, the fake picture and then the image of her and William walking in 480p. and all the other stuff. They were, just lying through their teeth the entire time. And so getting ahead of this is why it was brilliant. 95% of the people out there, including my family members, believes that it was real. And with the cancer sympathy vote, now they're not going to hassle her. Meaning now you don't have to put her out in public literally for the rest of the year. And you can just blame it on chemo treatment. Say, well, we don't want her to, she's not going to look great. And no one's even going to question it, that she's not out there. So for the rest of the year, she doesn't have to be in public at all. And no, there will be no criticism from the mainstream media. The reason why this was getting so much traction is because the mainstream media, they had no answers for it, especially with the Photoshop photo. So, and if you're wondering, Mark, do you really think it's deepfake? Okay. You know how what's going to cement it for me is if she dies off camera, which is a plot device used in Hollywood all the time, which is if she dies off camera where you don't see it, it's like, oh, well, her chemo, it didn't really work out and she just got worse and worse. Then yes, it was probably a deep fake. But either way, you can do it quietly. And again, no one would question it. Other little inconsistencies real quick. Let's go through them, which is the stomach surgery that happened back in, what was it? Early January or late December, depending on which story you believe. The only reason you would even go in there, it wasn't stage 1. Stage 1, you don't even bother telling people because the symptoms are, you barely even notice them yourself. Not stage 2, because you wouldn't have major stomach surgery if it was stage 2. Stage 3, yeah, you'd go in, and definitely with stage 4. So here's the thing, and Karen, please pull it up if you get a chance. Here's the thing that people just glossed over, and this is a story, again, the internet misses nothing. This is from the Mirror back in January 17, right? A British thing. Kate Middleton surgery. This is right after the surgery. Kensington Palace confirms Princess does not have cancer. Princess of Wales being treated at a London clinic for a planned abdominal surgery, but they said the mom of 3's condition is non-cancerous. This was January 17th. That headline's still out there if you want to look it up. So at the very least, they lied through their teeth because she absolutely had cancer. And if you believe that side of things, and she's, they decide to cover it up with horrible, bad social media things until now they say, okay, we're just going to get ahead of this thing. So am I going to do what Stephen Colbert did and a bunch of other media things? Say, oh, I'm so sorry, I screwed up. No, hell no. You kidding? This isn't over. Not even close. The only difference is now we can't run a Where is Princess Kate anymore because now you're not going to put her out in the public. If she's still around at all. Again, I think it's awfully suspicious that it's a glaring thing for me. We do it all the time here in the States, which is you have the husband sitting next to her on the bench, not saying anything, just looking at her and holding her hand lovingly and not chiming in at all. This is her speech, not his. And maybe she'd look at him every once in a while. It's like, William's been so great. And she looks back at him, that sort of thing. Where was he? Nowhere to be seen. So there you go. Do it,
It's weird that she did that by herself.
Yeah. Well, the same thing with the Mother's Day shot, right? He wasn't in the Mother's Day shot either with the 3 kids.
That's Mother's Day. I can kind of get why it would make it more about her.
Yeah. All right. Okay, you know what? Benefit of the doubt, I'll give you that, but I'm not going to give you the bench. The bench thing is he should have been there.
I agree with you that he should have been there. Like it seems weird that he wasn't.
Yeah, especially when she said, she went on about how supportive he was.
Yeah, and I've seen other couples make announcements and the husband is always there with his wife. Like I saw that. I've seen stuff like that before and the husband was there with his wife.
Yeah. And last but not least, and I'm not being petty when I say this, which was again, from the January 17th article, they absolutely knew, again, if you believe that side, that she had cancer, which meant she would have started chemo back in January. Hair starts falling out at 4 to 6 weeks. It's March, it's the end of March. Her hair looked better than ever. I've never seen her hair look that great and lustrous, whatever. It looked great. And people's like, no, she said she just started it. I'm like, okay, sure. That's fine.
It doesn't happen right away, but if she's not bald in a couple months, something's up.
Well, again, the excuse,
I mean, something's already up.
It doesn't matter. You're not. No one's going to find out for sure. I still think the stripes are the dead giveaway. No one's going to know for sure because now you have an excuse not to have her in public for the rest of the year. So again, look for any stories like, well, she's getting worse. I mean, seriously, she could die off camera, and you'd never know. And that is a perfect cover. There'd be no outrage. It's awesome. And I want to throw this last thing in before we go, which is I love that there's a term now. People, it's starting to get a little traction out there where people are worried that she was Diana'd.
Oh God.
That's cold. That's just freaking cold. But hey, people get it, right? The fact that there's another conspiracy with another woman that married into royalty. Come on, this happens in royals all the time. Okay, so last thing before we go to Lucky Unlucky. This is tied to it. Again, this is just piling on by Britain. Obviously, all the really bad Kate rumors were done by the Russians. Linked to Russian disinformation. So yeah. So all the really nasty rumors weren't from America and UK. No, it was the Russians. They were the one that did it. Again, BBC, you want to keep poking that bear?
Even though it's clear in that one video that is not her.
Right. Oh, you mean the one where she's walking with William?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they say she's fine, by the way. That was another thing. It was like, oh, she's walking. Oh, no, she's good. She's good. And again, doing that, they say, we're not even going to release a still shot of her until the end of April. And then less than a week later, you cave in. It's like, oh, yeah, by the way, I have cancer. Wow. That was a quick turnaround, but it was brilliant. Either way. Okay. So Lucky Unlucky, let's transition over to people that are in trouble. Let's go to people.com. Beauty YouTuber Jessica Petaway, 36. She caught turbo version of cervical after a misdiagnosis. That's not good.
Oof.
Yeah, I know, right? Let's see here. And again, misdiagnoses, I'm sure, are happening all the time because doctors don't expect anything to happen that quick, which is why we're running into so many stage 4s out of the blue. Again, why we call it turbo. It's like, oh yeah, you were here 3 months ago. You looked fine. 3 months later. Yeah, so you're not doing well. Next one, TMZ.com. All of them should be winning awards. Tennis player Arthur Cazot. He's number 74 in the world in tennis. He faints mid-match in one of the Miami tournaments live on camera. I believe he's in his early 20s. There's a video down there. He wasn't even in the middle. He was I think returning a serve. The ball hadn't even been hit yet. He just keels over before the guy even serves it.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. And he started twitching out. That wasn't good. But again, sudden, unexpected, but he's alive. So good for him. Lucky. Next one down. This is Karma. At work, this is from slaynews.com. Pro shot reporter catches suddenly and a heart attack at 54. And he was a big promoter down in he was India. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw a video of India where they were like literally forcing people to take it.
Yeah.
Like holding people down.
Yeah, America is one of those places where there's some things you cannot get away with here. Not even close.
Right.
Why I try to warn people. It's like, yeah, even as something as simple as a gun grab. Well, good luck. You can okay, I'll I'll see if I can make up a quote. You can start a gun grab in America, but good luck finishing it.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Next one down. This is from YouTube. And it's because I can't find the headline for it. But what happened was, this is from CBS Miami. It was a local story that for whatever reason didn't get any traction. So a black bodybuilder or weightlifter or whatever, he was at the gym and he drinks some cold water real fast. And that's what they're blaming his heart attack on. Okay. Sure. Again, we've talked about it for months and months, which is dirt. Running your hands through dirt, that'll kill you.
Right, gardening,
getting up in the morning.
Yeah.
Drinking cold water, running a hair dryer, clipping your nails.
Breathing.
The air is lava. I still, by the way, I'm never going to wear that shirt. That shirt is in mint condition, unworn condition in my closet now it's going to has a lot of friends because Christian sent me all these other ones. Okay, next one down. This is from Canada. This is a weird one. All right. This is Edmonton, Canada. So the EPS is investigating. Well, okay. Edmonton police are investigating reports that homeless people are being offered money to get shots while pretending to be someone else. Client at Boyle Street. Again, this is hypocritical, by the way. which is okay. So you're not going to go on the record and say that, that you're anti-shot. Oh, no, no, no. You're going to go to homeless people. Now, truth is, it's probably people that want to keep their jobs, that sort of thing, and they really are anti-shot. So, but yeah, they're
they're gonna like pay some homeless person to
throw somebody else
put their life in danger.
Yeah. There is an ethical issue here, which is, so let's see. She's been approached by someone who's wanting to get the shot with this other person's health information, so their name and their birthday and their Alberta healthcare number. Yeah, because that's all they need. They don't need a photo ID, apparently.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So people, again, people are only good as the system allows them to be. And I learned this when I was in the time and attendance industry, and that is people will get away with, Karen knows this, people will get away with anything they can get away with. They can find an exploit. If they can find a way to break the rules and it benefits them, they're going to do it.
Yeah.
People lie, cheat, and steal all the time. That's why, as much as I know our community criticizes law enforcement on a regular basis, and really, why shouldn't they? If they weren't around, it'd be the freaking Wild West. If you don't know what the Wild West is, look up America during the time of our expansion when we were going west. It was not fun at all out there. It was freaking, again, that's why the movie was part of the movie, A Million Ways to Die in the West. That was the nice version. All right, next one down. Rolling Stone magazine. You're not going to be able to see all of this because the Rolling Stone wants you to do stuff. This one's interesting because, and the photo is priceless. The world's moved on from COVID. Some of us can't. So what's happened is, as you know, yes, there's been a whole bunch of people that have caught lucky or suddenly, or I'm sorry, unlucky or suddenly, or all that stuff. But there's a way more that have caught, symptoms of the shot in the arm, which they're now calling long COVID, right? Mm-hmm. And now because of this, there are support groups, large ones, that are they're coming up here. Again, look at the shirts that these guys are wearing, right? That is, support groups, because, can you imagine, by the way, being in a support group like that, where you're all, in the back subconsciously, but none of you can say it. None of you can say it at the group. Which is, I've got this. Oh, I've got this. And none of you would dare say, oh, hey, maybe it was something else. It's like, oh, no, my doctor said this. I'm sure that's how all these support groups start up.
This picture is triggering. It's triggering me. Seriously. I want to yell at these people. Yeah. They have diapers on their faces. What is wrong with these people?
No, it is.
You can't breathe? Take that shit off your face.
Well, as you know, there's at least 10 to 15%. I've seen it in the airports recently, which is 10 to 15% of the people, the conditioning and the brainwashing. Come on, you don't even roll out a plan like this unless you think it's going to work. 70% of the U.S. population took it. Karen and I and Peanut and others are in the minority. And of those people, there's 10 to 15% of the population are going to be wearing masks for the rest of their lives. And I know I harp on them, but I also know that conformity builds empires, and I know they rolled the dice because they trust in authority, which is like, I trust what the experts say. We all defer to authority in various ways, and they deferred to it, and they bet wrong, and now they're in trouble for it, and they don't know what to do, and because this isn't something like signing up for a bad marriage and you can get out of it type of thing, right? You can get out of a marriage eventually. This is something you can't get rid of, and they don't. And I'm sure it's depressing. I am sure it's wearing on them. I don't really have any. I don't give them a hard time in person. I feel bad, but at the same time, it's like part of me, Karen and I have talked about this. Is like, look, we warned you for a long time, and you still did it. You still went with the masses. You went with the groupthink.
You believed the government and the TV.
Yep.
Never believe the government or the TV. Ever.
I know.
Ever.
It is easy for us to say, but as you know, there are so many people that they believe again, it's the line from the Truman Show. We believe the world that is presented to us. And we believe that it's the code of credibility. video, which was, again, you put on a lab coat. Amazing what people will defer to when you wear a lab coat. You're a lab coat. You are smarter than me. Therefore, you must know better. Unless, you're in America and you're financially motivated. Okay, next one down. Or, world order motivated. Next one down. Let's go to, yeah, we're doing good. We'll make it. WLT report. Okay. So this one's interesting because this one, I want to read this. So it is, doctors warn of a disturbing new cancer trend plaguing young people, right? So again, this is jumping on the bandwagon. This is perfectly written, perfectly timed, which is doctors are warning of a disturbing trend, right? Dramatic spikes in the rate of cancer. According to sources, the trend is global, and numerous reports have focused on the increase in abdominal cancers in young people under 45 following Kate Middleton's recent diagnosis. Yeah, see, that being said, abdominal cancers aren't the only variation of the disease on the rise. WLTR has previously reported on the prevalence of turbo cancers. Again, a term that didn't even exist 5 years ago. Rapidly spreading cancers in seemingly healthy individuals. Mainstream sources in the science blame the rise in cancer diagnosis, particularly those among young people, on a whole host of factors of GMO foods and genetics. The doctors, of course, some know, some don't. They're not going to, either way, they're not going to go on the record and say it, because everyone that's ever said it for the last 3-4 years has been just brutalized. Doctors have lost their licenses. So yeah.
Yep.
Of course,
not to say that GMO, like all the crap, well, not even just GMO, but all the crap they put in food couldn't be doing this.
No,
it could be a combination.
Oh, sure. But the catalyst, we all know what the catalyst is.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's the connection. Again, what we've been reading in Lucky Unlucky for months and months, I mean, going on years now, right? We've been doing Unlucky Unlucky for at least a couple of years, right? Where they all have one thing in common. And we know this because when this whole thing started, they tried to jump on it and said, oh, this person didn't get the shot and they died because of something, right? They don't say that anymore. Because if they found somebody that was a strong anti-shot person, that would be the story lead. That would be in the first paragraph. They don't say that anymore. They don't even mention shot status in the story anymore. It's always just suddenly, unexpectedly, brief illness, mystery illness, collapse during fill in the blank here. It's been well done. The segue has to where, again, the trigger now for Karen, which is now we have long COVID support groups. And they go to these things. They wear the shirts.
And a mask on their face. What the hell?
I know.
To me, if they're wearing a mask, then they're not even considering that their stuff could be from the you-know-what.
Yeah. Well, for me, if they're wearing the mask, they're NPCs. Period.
Exactly. So they're going to consider...
Yeah.
My doctor wouldn't give me something that would give me cancer or make me sick.
No, why would they? And the doctors, well, again, the chain of command, which was the doctors listened to the CDC. They did exactly what the CDC told them. CDC followed the WHO, and to where, come on YouTube, on the platform that this thing will be on tomorrow, which with the medical misinformation strikes, they say straight up, it's like, they don't even mention the CDC anymore. They say, you cannot contradict the WHO in any way, shape, or form. It's like, wow, this program was heavy-handed. But it could have been, I suppose it could have been worse. We're still hanging in there. Okay, last but not least, before we go to Clown World. Perfect timing. We got this. Daily Mail. Again, why the British are reporting this, I don't know. Mystery as Iowa becomes America's cancer capital. Officials fear farming chemicals and alcohol abuse is to blame. So let me get this straight. The chemicals they put on the farms in Iowa and the heavy drinking, that's the spike. That's what's causing the turbo cancers.
I mean, if they're putting Roundup, I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Well, sure, but
I'm sure that's what the cancer is, not the alcohol.
Well, yeah. Well, it's definitely not the alcohol. I mean, come on. I mean, liver cancer, that takes some time. But even if you were putting Roundup, it's like, okay, you know what? I'm going to go with that, Karen, which is it's the combination of Roundup. It's the shot in the arm and the Roundup to boot. That's what puts you over the edge. Because I'm sure that the rates, we're not talking about a huge rate. It's like, okay, they won by 2%, which is what you would expect from Roundup, right? An extra couple percent. Because there's not that many farmers out there. Okay, Clown World, and then we'll go to break. Clown World, first one. This is so weird. But, you know, it's Fox News. South Carolina woman's hand amputated after she burned it in a freak accident with a hairdryer. Her name's Mary Wilson. Why she passed out when she was using her blow dryer, I don't know. And she just happened to have the blow dryer that was sitting right on her hand. It was running on high power. Yes, Peanut takes credit for this one. It was running on high power, and she didn't wake up for 20 minutes, and it burned her hand so badly, apparently it turned into a monkey's paw, and they had to amputate it. Okay.
That's just crazy to me.
Yeah. Now, personally, I think she had some other things going on. You know, was she incapacitated from another reason? I mean, come on. If you're out to where your hand's on fire, your hand's smoldering, and you still don't wake up for 20 minutes, you got some other things going on.
Yeah, what makes you pass out for that long?
I don't know. Drug people, tell me, what can do that? There's some nice shots of her down below. And it looks like they amputated like from the wrist, like the upper wrist down. That's not good. 1/5 of grain. 1/5 of grain. What's 1/5 of grain?
Alcohol.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. She could have been really freaking plastered. Oh yeah, Everclear. Yeah, you bet. By the way, Everclear is really, really great. We'll talk about the survival manual when we come back. But before we do, let's do the last Clown World. Okay, so last Clown World, and remind me, Peanut, to do the survival manual when we come back. Okay, so this one's from Newsweek magazine. This one was kind of weird. And I kind of tie this to the movie They Live, or the entire plot line of Resident Alien, which was man with rare condition sees people's faces as demons. So again, Resident Alien, if you ever watched this, there was like a 1 in a million chance that a person could see through the alien's actual disguise and he actually saw them for what they were. So in this case, this guy's seeing some demons out there, and you scroll down and there's some faces of what he sees, right? And they're saying, oh, well, it's just a medical condition. Is it a medical condition? Or is he actually seeing demons? Or are these people actually demons in disguise? And they're, and I mean, come on. I mean, some of these guys, I mean, come on, the ears are pointed, the eyes are drawn back.
I mean, did anybody question these people that he sees that look like demons? Did anybody find out if they weren't demons for real?
No, that's crazy, Karen. It's absolutely crazy. But that's from They Live. If you remember, the whole premise of They Live was you had to wear glasses and you saw these aliens, these demon-like aliens. And so in this case, so again, a great story to put out there, which was, again, you have to write an article about it. So if you see, so now it spreads out there. It's like, oh yeah, my friend thought she saw a demon down at the convenience store, right? It's like, oh, it must be a medical condition. You should have her checked out, because who knows what drugs they gave him, and now maybe he doesn't see demons anymore. But I thought it was so weird, because look, I've seen this in media. This is a plot line where every once in a while you run into somebody with a genetic predisposition of seeing through whatever it is. So you guys want to check it out. Look at some of the faces here, because it is creepy. Freaking creepy. So there you go. Man sees demons, but you know what? He's probably crazy or chemically imbalanced. I'm sure it's nothing. Okay, we're going to go to break. When we come back, we're going to take your phone calls. 848-222-2480. That's 848-222-2480. Don't forget to I want to give out the survival manual for the eclipse, because, you know, many cities, for those people that survive the wreckage that will be Cleveland, for example. So, Karen, roll that music, please.
Hey, are you a foodie? Are you looking for the best salsas and hot sauce to serve at your next Mexican cultural appropriation party? A salsa that will knock your guests flat on their rear ends? Or maybe you're just looking for that authentic roasted chili flavor. Imperio Salsa is small batch and handcrafted with choice non-GMO ingredients. It is legit my favorite salsa ever. Support your local flat earther and go to imperiosalsa.com and order some of the best salsa on the plane. Shipping is included on all USA orders, and oh, look at this. The more you order, the more you save. They have some of the best seasonings that go great on your homemade guacamoles and quesadillas, or whatever you like. They are the bomb. Season your meat with it, season everything with it. Go get it. Keep it flat. Eat my salsa!
Welcome back to Strange World, part 3 of 4. It's you, me, the always wonderful Karen B, and sometimes Peanut. Smoking it. You really should keep track. I would imagine you've done already 2 packs today. 2 packs? Maybe? Yeah, 2 packs. So he's working on between 41 and 50 right now. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention the bridge thing. I know, I'll bring it up next week, but oh, yeah, they're going to blame it on... They're not going to blame this, by the way, on Russian ninjas. They're just not. Because the problem is they'd like to. They really, really would. But the reason why they can't is if you do that, you all of a sudden admit that your infrastructure is very vulnerable. Because then people say, well, if they could do it to this, they could do it to any bridge. And then people start freaking out, as Karen knows. And people just jump on that one, and there's fear everywhere. But I forgot to mention, if you guys didn't know, also symbolism here. What bridge was it? It was the Francis Scott Key Bridge. You're saying, oh, I don't know much about Americana, Mark. Who's Francis Scott Key? Well, he's the guy who freaking wrote the national anthem. That guy. You know, oh, say, can you see? You know, that guy. So, yeah, this is very symbolic. That was the perfect bridge to hit. Just saying. If I was an enemy of America, that's what, yeah. It's not a Spanish song, Peanut. Jose, can you see? Really? No, it's not Spanish. All right. Okay. Phone number to call in is 848-222. Oh, you know what? Survival guide. See, I remembered. Okay. So, you guys know the eclipse is coming up, and many people, it'll be much devastation. Very few survivors in the East Coast. Karen will make it though, because she's going to protect herself with witches spells. Nothing can kill Peanut for whatever reason. And we'll see, you know, the end of Karen and me. No. Oh, no. I'm going to make sure you guys are absolutely fine. I'm going to pull some strings on this one. It's going to take this weird path around you, and people aren't going to be able to figure it out. And I'll be like, oh, they're fine. They're good. So I wrote a free survival guide. Yeah, you can buy the printed copy on Amazon, and there's an Audible version of it on Audible. But I've been giving out for years. It's called Empty Shelves. It's only 2 megs. Karen will put it into chat. There's a weak transfer link there and things. She'll dump it into chat for you guys. Anyone can download it, or you can email me at msargent23@comcast.net. It's msargent23@comcast.net, and I will send you the link. And again, it's only 2 megs, worth your time. Of course, I suggest you print it out if you get a chance.
You didn't give me the link. Where is it?
Sure, it's in Zoom chat.
Oh.
Yeah. I just uploaded it. But again, if anyone wants, you can also email me during the show, and I will just fire it off to you because I've already got it loaded up and ready to go. And it's an easy, it's lighthearted, but it's not designed specifically for eclipse things like zombieism and reverse vampires, but it's for a long-term power outage. So any long-term power outage, and only in America or English-speaking countries, some, you know, industrial first world nations, but, you know, have it. It's free. Why not take it, right? And while you're at it, pick up a few supplies. But last thing before we go, I know we have time before the eclipse, but if you're worried about the eclipse, you should already be prepped, right? So you have some food, some water, some batteries, you know, a little bit of a plan. Don't wait until the last minute. Don't all of a sudden be in the eclipse and be like, oh no, what's this? What's this black beam of negative energy heading straight for us? What are we going to do? I'm just saying. If the lightning doesn't look like lightning, it looks like something else, yeah, run. Or don't. Either way, you guys will be fine. Yes, and buy a couple cartons of cigarettes for trading material, says Peanut. And I actually have that in the it's under vices, which is things that you can trade for. People who have vices, like Peanut will give away some of his own kids for a carton of cigarettes, probably. Yeah, he nods. Yes, he absolutely will. So, again, remember the beginning of The Postman. Okay, I know I'll pick up the phone calls. Remember the beginning of The Postman, the Kevin Costner movie, where he tips over an empty cigarette machine. He finds like a dozen packs. And first lines, I think, in the movie were, I'm rich. And he was. And he traded that to get into a village. That's how much cigarettes would be worth. Okay. Enough humming and hawing. Let's get to the phone calls, shall we? Oh, we're not going to pick up him because he is just listening. We will pick up 816, but let's start with 505 in New Mexico, which, if I'm not mistaken, 1111, which I'm pretty sure will miss the eclipse. So there will be no devastation in New Mexico. Probably going to be a safe state to go to after it's over. Anyway, go ahead, 505.
1111, and yes, kids, listen to your Uncle Mark and Aunt Karen. Get that survival guide, especially if you're going to totality. That would be highly advisable. And yes, I hope to escape back to New Mexico, which should be safe after I come back from Texas and escape the devastation. Yes. And Karen, did you know that there is a Rapture, Indiana? And I think that you're going to be close to that area.
Yeah, people were telling me that, but
going.
I looked it up on the map though, and I didn't see an actual town called Rapture. It was like a park or something. It was weird. It was like not a city.
Okay.
I don't know what's.
Yeah,
what
I was kind of suspicious of it too. I didn't look at it on a map, but that makes sense. Hey, is that anywhere near you're going now?
No.
Okay. Oh boy. Okay, Mark, you got some great T-shirts tonight.
Yeah.
That they sound really awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
good stuff.
Yeah, I really, I would probably keep them all. They sound really cool. But maybe you could give one away. Yeah.
We'll see.
And then, yeah. Which one would you give away? The one you like the most, I guess. Maybe.
That's a tough one. I might give away the one I'm wearing right now, the Trek Yourself Before You Wreck Yourself. I might give that one away. We'll see. I'm torn. There's some Walking Dead. There's some Walking Dead ones. I mean, I got like 3 or 4 Walking Dead ones. But so I may wear one per show until I go to the next big event, and then I'll say each one was personally worn on Strange World. So we'll see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that the one where I can't see you right now? So is that the one that you were describing with Spock on there with gang signs?
Yeah, Spock throwing gang signs. It's awesome. Yeah.
That's cool. All right, man. I can't resist. I was gonna, with all the eclipse talk, I wanted to just highlight a few things I came across this week. The last time I don't know if this is the last time there was a cross, but in 1806, and then similar to 2017, and then they had the cross in 1811, and I guess it crossed in an area called Cairo. A town named Cairo, which is interesting because the cross for 2024 is in a place called Little Egypt.
Yes.
And I guess in 1812, there's did you see that? That's pretty cool.
Yeah. That is where I expect
and
the worst
in
devastation. It will be Little Egypt. That place will pretty much be a crater, from what I understand.
Mark, stop.
Yeah, and Egypt is always in the Bible, another reference for a world system, and obviously the Israelites escaped from with Moses, and of course God parting the Red Sea. That whole event comes to mind, and so the world system is in the Bible is either referred to as Egypt or Babylon, and when you brought up. You brought up Jonah, and I love that book. But Nahum is another book about Nineveh, and it contrasts because it's a little later on in their history. And even though in Jonah they did repent, and God spared them from the wrath and destruction, in Nahum, which is a little while after that, I'm not sure, but maybe over 100 years later, they did not get spared the wrath, and they did not turn back to God. So that'd be a good book to check out for what happens if they did not repent. And then the Egyptian thing, going back to the Little Egypt, there was something I saw. I didn't come up with this, but I thought it was interesting. There was a verse that someone was promoting on the internet. And I went and looked at it, and because of the date of the eclipse is 4/8, they were promoting Exodus 4/8, which is the whole story about them leaving Egypt. And I'll read it and see if you think you see any connection here. It's pretty cool, I think. And it shall come to pass, if they will not believe thee, neither hearken to the voice of the first sign, that they will believe the voice of the latter sign. So That kind of rhymes a little bit for the two signs or the two different crosses, or that make up the cross. Anyway, I thought I'd throw that out there. And let's see, what else? Anybody going to Texas? I haven't heard anybody really talking about that, so I'm just going to throw that out there because that's where I plan on going. And I was just kind of seeing if any flat earthers were going that way, and maybe what towns they're going to, and maybe we can meet up and go to the same town or whatever. But I was going to throw my number out there, and anybody can call. It's 505-328-1549, and I'm still planning on going south of the central area in that path because it still looks like the weather's good there. So, yeah.
Groovy.
Looks like everybody's going to New York. Yeah.
All right. Cool.
And Rapture is actually in Harmony Township, Indiana. I'm not sure what Rapture is supposed to be, if that's supposed to be a church or something, but when I click on it, it says Harmony Township, Indiana, and when I put the little man in Street View, it is just a cornfield, man. Cornfield and big red barn.
You know, and I wonder when it was actually named. I'm wondering if somebody, wonder if this is a recent naming or a recent place that somebody wanted to name, but yeah, I thought that was interesting. So you did find it. Cool. I'll have to look it up. And Mark, I'm just curious. Why did you decide maybe not to go this time around?
The
spectacular in 2017.
The weather, mostly. I do not trust
weather. Okay.
April 8th weather anywhere in that corridor. So I'm not gonna blow.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I'm even worried about if I'm going to be able to see it. And I'm like watching, I added the town I'm going to the weather app, and I'm like, man, if it forecasts crappy weather, we might not even just bother going.
Yeah. So that's all. Normally I'd love
to. Because you will. Yeah, because and I'm kind of faced up the same thing, so it's good to talk to you about it because I'm kind of looking at the weather too now that it's 2 weeks out, and they are calling just pretty much almost everywhere north of central Texas rain. Yeah. But things could clear up. And are you? Yeah, because I'd rather see 73% with clear skies than. But where you're both at in South Carolina, would you still see? Yeah, you would still see a partial. And Mark, you would still see a partial where you're at, right?
No, in Seattle, no, not even close. No, I will see nothing where I am.
I thought it was like 10 or something percent or something like that.
If it's 10%, you're never even going to notice it. I mean, I was there during the whole thing. I can tell you really up until like 90%, you wouldn't even look twice if you were indoors. And outdoors, you really have to be looking for it. So anyway, I want to pick up some other people. Yeah. Last minute shout outs, anything?
Yeah, let you guys go. Yeah, let's do I talked to Amy in Syracuse earlier. Shout out to her. I advised her to go in the middle of the lake because that looks like it's the best place to see it from her location. But she is opting to go to join David, Alex, and Zulu, and Jesse, and Brittany over in Salamanca. And that just sounds like a fun event. And shout out to her. And, of course, Jan in Dallas. All right. Guys, keep it flat and love you guys.
All right.
See you, Karen. Bye.
Have a good one. All right, we're going to jump right over to 816 in Kansas City. What is happening, 816?
Hey, Mark. Do you still design games?
Am I still designing games? No, unfortunately, no. That was something I did in the 90s, being a game producer and a professional game player. But no, I haven't done it in years. Sorry.
Dang, because I have a game idea that I want to pitch to someone, and I don't know.
Well, if you get a chance, if you have a game idea or any idea for that matter, email me. Just shoot me an email with what you got. I still know people, so you got some. I'll throw it at them. See if they think it's feasible. Sure.
Okay, and I was wondering if you know inventors or if any inventors or inventors are listening, I have an idea for a drone with a P1000 built in it. So like, yeah.
Well, a drone with a P1000 isn't a bad idea. However, if you didn't hear recently, the P1000 is being discontinued for something else. By the way, I thought it was interesting that Nikon just signed a big contract with NASA of all people. Wouldn't that be a little dagger on their part? It's like, yeah, by the way, cancel that thing, will you? Now, I don't know if the 1000 is being replaced by anything else, but yeah, it's a good idea. I like it. A drone with a high-powered zoom lens. I'm sure for the military, they've already got them, and I'm sure Hollywood has some as well. So for the civilian market, don't know. Maybe. I mean, that is one of the first things you'd put on a drone. So, but I like the idea, like where your head's at. Anything else?
No, that's it.
All right.
Talk to you later.
All right. Have a good one, man. See ya.
You too.
Bye. All right. We're going to jump over to 646 in Manhattan, which will be spared. Well, the zombies will really just kind of migrate over to Manhattan once they hit Western New York. So 646, what's happening?
I was thinking about this. Like, Karen, aren't you doing a dating site for flat earthers?
I'm working on it.
Yeah, like a good one, like an actual, like legit big one. So like whatever. I was thinking like, actually this was Nicole. Actually, it was like True Housewives of Flat Earth. I think that has legs.
There's not enough of us that live around each other though to like actually have
Right.
something.
Yeah, you'd have to have a clump. Clump's probably not a good word for it, but yeah.
I think you're thinking of
You want to
coven.
bring down my. I mean, look, it's like, it's a big deal, right? It's like, there's a lot of like people that are flat and their spouse isn't.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a big deal. I think it's got legs, Mark, pitch it to somebody.
All right. I will. And is that it?
You don't think it's a very good idea, do you?
No, I think it's fine.
No?
I like the idea. I think logistically it's got some problems. But I like the idea.
I mean, I don't know where you'd go to film it, actually, like where most of the flat earth wives are.
Exactly. You'd have to go to Karen's area, obviously, so you can get some hot Ted action.
Some hot Ted action.
Oh my god. Yeah, okay.
Wait, was that out loud?
Egyptian names? Like what?
Nothing. Go ahead.
I was saying the thing about the eclipse is there are so many Egyptian names in the States. You got to kind of take a step back and realize, did like all the people that were supposedly coming off boats to move in here that were migrants, they were like, I'm going to name my little settlement after an Egyptian town.
Right.
And you have like Memphis, Tennessee, and like there's actually Egypt, Illinois, and like there's a bunch of names after places that these people and horse and carriage is probably I don't know, never even heard of.
Yeah.
If whatever happened, I'm like, how did this town get its name? It's like, why is Memphis on the Mississippi named after an Egypt town that is supposedly so far away over, to a place that none of these people could ever even known that it was there.
And it has a pyramid.
It has a pyramid where they play basketball inside of it, which is really funny. But it's like, you go through these, I'm like, there's these little towns everywhere and they're like biblical little names. And I'm like, if you're like a dude just rolling through the prairie, you're like, I'm gonna plant some seeds, maybe find a wife and make some kids and build a mud hut and like whatever. And it's like, I'm gonna name this after an Egyptian town. I'm gonna look across all the things I've never read because I'm not even literate, because I'm barely surviving because it's the middle of the Dust Bowl. I'm gonna go into old Egyptian town names and name it this. You ever thought about that? I mean, I was kind of whining on that.
Well, if you look around the United States, though, there's all kinds of names of places that come from Europe and like all these other countries, like even New York, and there's a ton of them. There's freaking like I can't even. Lebanon is a name of some cities here. You know, there's just stuff like that.
How did those settlers even know how to name anything after Lebanon if they didn't even have a book to read about the very place that they've never been to? It's really bizarre to me.
Though, how do you know they didn't know?
I don't know. I just can't imagine a settler planting crops thinking about the old land of Egypt. I'm just like, come on, man. Where did these names come from? I'm like, I don't even understand why Memphis got named Memphis. Was there like some Egyptians that got away and got over on a boat and ended up in New York like, I'm Egyptian, but I hate Egypt, and now I'm going to go to Memphis and could call it Memphis and do that sort of thing. I don't know.
You know, there is a group out there that tends to hold the old names, the old Middle Eastern names in high regard, and that would be the Masons. And the
Masons love Egypt.
Yeah,
they love Egypt.
They would have done it.
They love Egypt.
Yeah, they do.
Dude, I mean, like, I even visited like my old little bitty town that I grew up in Kansas, and lo and behold, there was a Masonic lodge there, and that I even recognized when I was living there when I was a kid.
Yeah.
It's still there, and I asked all the people around there, I was like, why is there a Masonic lodge in a town of 1,200 in the middle of Kansas? And they're like, we don't know, we just go there to vote. I'm like, that thing has still been there. Have you ever seen anyone go in or out of it? Do you know what's inside of it? Do you know what that even is? And they're like, well, no, we just go there to vote. And I was like, it's really weird that's been there like since I was 2, and nobody knows what that is.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't even know what the term, like the Americas, Kansas, I don't even know what that is, but there's a ton of towns that run through the entire Midwest that are named after impossible names that apparently there was an intelligent person in midst of all the settlers out there that were just wallowing around the mud that said, we're going to name this. This is going to be Egypt, Illinois. Oh, let's call this Memphis, Tennessee. I mean, it's just kind of stupid and dumb. And I'm just like, no, there was no settlers that named it. It had to. Sorry, man. I watched Dark City last night too, by the way. Mark.
Yeah, what'd you think?
That shit. Wow.
Yeah.
The predecessor of the Matrix.
Yeah.
Dude. I mean, you can tell it's like the Matrix was built off Dark City.
They used the same set.
It was. It's like literally like they basically did the whole thing.
Hey, Alex.
You know the reason why it was
Alex.
so Sorry, what?
Alex, we gotta go to break, so you're gonna have to tell me after the show.
Whatever.
Okay.
Bye.
What? No, I know he's excited. No, I was the one that recommended it to him. Oh, sorry, Jerome. I'll have to pick you up after the break. I was the one that recommended to him, but it's like, no, we gotta talk about this after the show. Okay. We're going to our final break, and when we come back, we're gonna take your phone calls. I will pick up 518-904. I'm gonna probably jump on 801 because that's the guy that's sending me a lot of stuff. 561. I know 604 is out there. Oh, good. We got a lot. Oh, and then of course 949 just shows up. Karen, the music, please.
All right.
Where is the
Alpha 33, target is on property, approaching food trailer.
Engage Delta 9.
Roger. Alpha 33 descending.
Hey, I know you.
Shh, they might be listening.
CIA?
Maybe.
Aliens?
Probably.
Globalists?
Definitely. I may have already said too much.
We have what you need.
Really?
It's flat.
I'm listening.
And round.
Go on.
And delicious.
Tell me the secret.
Karen, do you work with Imperio Salsa?
Huh?
Imperio Salsa.
Yeah, what about it?
Oh, they wrote me and asked me for the survival guide.
They wrote you in what?
They asked for the survival guide.
Oh.
They said they'll send some salsa.
Sweet. Their salsa really is good.
Yeah, I haven't had it, so.
I love it.
I know you do.
I
say it in the
really do
commercial.
like it. It's the bomb.
I see the truth in it.
I thought you might.
This truly is a special place.
Yeah, we like to think so.
Will you be here tomorrow?
We move around quite a bit.
Ah, a mobile command center. A strong strategy. I like where you're
Karen,
headed.
can you play this link when we come back from break?
Anything else?
It's a 60-second thing.
I was never here.
Where are you putting it?
The Zoom chat. It's one of my little favorite news things.
Package intercept. Copy that, Alpha 33. Come on back, let's eat.
Long live Flat Earth.
Long live Flat Earth!
Welcome back to Strange World, part 4 of 4. It's you, me, the always wonderful Karen B, and sometimes Peanut. We're taking your phone calls, but first, can Karen pull it up on screen? This is why I wanted to show. This is the devastation we're talking about with the eclipse. We'll show it next week too, maybe. We have the chance of popping this baby up with sound, maybe.
With sound. Okay, got it.
With sound.
We'll bring you on into the temps, and we're all doing okay. Wow, 750 degrees in Gila Bend right now, and 1,270 in Ahwatukee. Now, I'm not authorized to evacuate Ahwatukee, but this temperature seems pretty high.
Cave Creek is really
Yeah, Cave Creek, Fountain Hills, they don't look good either. And frankly, Wickenburg is a total loss. You might as well just get out of anywhere along this 60 here. It's very warm. Surprise is starting to heat up as well at 1,300 degrees. So again, the safe spots seem to be Chandler and Mesa. Scottsdale is doing okay so far, but you know, you're sort of surrounded by some pretty intense heat. So, you know, again, I'm not your dad, but I would get out while you still can. I think steel boils at about this temperature, so Cave Creek, there's probably nothing left up there right now. So don't even bother looting up there. It's not going to be worth it.
All right, so that was a news thing. There was a little video I made called they always read the teleprompter, and that was a news guy, a weather guy that they added zeros to basically everything that was on the temperature thing on the map, and he just went with it. Just carved up a story. But yeah, that's pretty much what's going to happen when the eclipse rolls through your town. Before we get into it, a viewer or listener, they or both, gave me a great idea. And so I'm going to let you know one of my new little projects I'm going to do for this week. I'm going to see if I can get away with it. I am going to do Behind the Curve. I'm going to do a commentary of it. So I'm going to do a commentary of Behind the Curve. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a low res version with a giant watermark on it. And I'm going to turn the sound way down because I know just about everything there is about Behind the Curve. And I'm going to do the whole thing, the whole 100 minutes, and see what happens. I'm going to put it up on YouTube, and I'm going to cross my fingers and hope that that, I mean, it might get blocked. I don't think it'll get struck. I mean, I know the people that are involved, so we'll see. They may just contact me and say, pull it down. But I'm going to try to do that. I think it'd be a lot of fun. It'll get out everywhere else, but we'll see if that happens. Yes, Peanut doesn't like me in shorts in that movie at all. He thinks no one should ever wear shorts in film ever.
No, I think he just said, I think it's just you that shouldn't wear shorts.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you. My self-esteem was up here. Now it's lower. Great.
I mean, from Peanut's point of view, not mine.
I have nice legs. I have always been told I have nice legs.
It's okay to be white, Mark. It's okay to be white.
Wow. Okay. Fine. All right, we got to pick up a few phone calls. Let's start off. We're going to do 3 minutes each on some of them. We'll say, Jerome, 518, give you 3 minutes. What do you got?
Hey, how y'all doing this evening? Karen, Mark, Peanut, this is Jerome. How y'all doing tonight?
Good.
I was when you mentioned that the path of this lunar eclipse, I should say.
Solar eclipse. Solar. But go ahead.
It's a solar eclipse?
Yeah.
Okay. So that means the sun is, the Earth is going to be blocking the sun?
No, the moon's going to be blocking the sun supposedly, and the sun will basically turn into a black eyeball of death, and it's going to go from Texas all the way up diagonally to New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
Y'all was talking about a black sun not too long ago.
Yeah.
Right. I call it the black moon.
Okay.
But I'm thinking, why is it going from south and then jettisons off to northeast?
Don't know.
If the sun is going, west.
I don't know.
That's correct. That's correct. If you think about it, I had at one time I had a little moon and a sun on a stick so I could like show if the sun travels faster than the moon, the shadow's going to go the opposite direction, right? So the sun's going east to west and the shadow's going to go the opposite way. If you take a flashlight and put it behind your hand and make it go like this, you'll see the shadow goes in the opposite direction. It's okay that it does that.
Yeah. It'll be fine.
Yeah, but it's coming from the south.
I know.
That's the whole thing I'm looking at.
Well, the sun and the moon are in the south from us. The sun and the moon are south from us, so I don't know. To me, it seems okay. I don't really get it.
It'll be fine, Jerome. Don't worry about it. I get you. But 99% of people can't explain it anyway.
I was thinking about going home. I'm originally from Erie, Pennsylvania. I was thinking about going home for the week. And
if the weather's good, go do it. It'll be fine.
Erie's in the path.
Yeah.
Erie's in the path. If you don't have to get a hotel, it might be worth it because hotel rooms are really expensive.
No, I'll be around family. That's where I was originally from. That's where I was born and raised.
That's why I'm saying. Yeah.
So, you can protect those family from the zombies. You'll be fine.
Oh no, we ain't going out like the Last of Us, man. No, that's okay. But
get that
I'm gonna let you get the other calls. I wanted to give a shout out to Jan, Zulu, DJ's crazy ass, and Dr. Law. We don't talk to Dr. Law a lot, so shout out to Dr. Law. And Ben from Grand Rapids.
Right on, man.
Y'all have a nice evening.
All right. Thanks, Jerome. Have a good one.
Okay.
We're going to do these quick. Let's do 801. This is the guy that sent me all those freaking t-shirts. Hey, man, what's happening?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Did you get those newspapers?
Yes, we got the news. You know what? I was going to bring up the newspapers, and I'm actually saving those because I'm going to give those to my brother-in-law for his birthday. He's a huge history buff. So thank you for the original newspapers that shows Japan surrendering, and I think victory in Europe, and the war is over. Yeah, good stuff. Original newspapers. Great stuff.
Yeah, I'm a direct living descendant of Francis Scott Key.
Oh, wow. Nice.
And I'm a direct living descendant of the youngest signer of the Declaration of Independence, John Rutledge.
Oh, very cool. Very
They
cool.
tried to call me up to do a TV commercial for the DNA thing.
Yeah.
But,
Nice.
yeah.
Nice. Well, thank you, by the way, for all the boxes I've been getting over the weeks. It's been great opening up these mystery boxes. It's like, what could it be? Because I honestly don't know. Most of the time I can kind of guess. With you, I have no freaking idea what you're going to send me.
Anyway, I just want to make sure you got them, but that's
Oh,
good.
dude, I've gotten well, you'd know, because if it bounced back to you, you would have gotten them back. So no, I've gotten everything. It's been awesome. And Karen's gotten some of it too.
All right.
Yeah. But thank you. Anything else?
I'll let somebody else get in there.
All right, groovy, man. Thank you. And again, appreciate all your stuff. I'm gonna try to wear a different shirt every show when I can.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
All right. Have a good one, man. See ya. Let's go to, oh boy, we get a lot. Let's try 646 first, and then I will go to 949 after that. 646. What's happening, Nicole? Nicole, you're on mute. Did I pick her up? What happened? Well, now I picked up Australia. Oh crap. Australia popped in and I picked up Australia. Well, I got to pick you up anyway because you're long distance. What's happening, Australia?
Yeah, g'day, Mark. It's Mark.
Hey.
You answered a few of my emails about the time zones and stuff.
Right. How are you?
Good. Yeah, I just thought I'd tune in today. I didn't realize I could. It's like 3 o'clock here. So, yeah. I appreciate all your replies.
Oh, hey, happy to do it. And just so the listeners know, it is 3 o'clock and it's Wednesday. 3 o'clock in the afternoon on a Wednesday, right?
Correct. Yep.
Yeah. He's in the future.
And I wish we had an eclipse like the ones you guys had 7 years ago and now. But yeah, we had one up northwest Australia last year, but I couldn't get to it.
Yeah.
Be fantastic.
Cool. Were there vampires?
I had a didn't hear of any.
All right. That's fine. Disappointing, but okay.
Yeah. Do you know where I might get a model of like a dome with a flat Earth map? And I'm interested in getting one of them. There are
small ones that are sold on different places. You can actually just type it into Google, and there are some production models that are out there that aren't endorsed by us necessarily. I mean, they seem like just a Gleason's map, maybe 9 inches across, maybe, with a cheap dome on it. Pontius, until he fires up the new thing, I don't know if there's anything high end out there. It depends how big you want it. If you're looking for a really tiny one, there's some coin companies that are making them, which is kind of fun, but they're kind of pricey as well. Depends how much money you have to spend. Tell you what, after the show, email me, and I'll see if I can find you some decent links. How's that?
You good? And the other question was, Iru Landouchis, he had I've seen a couple times. I couldn't quite find where it was, but he's got a model screen about the sun. It sort of allows you to apparent the sun. It follows even though it's going around in a circle above it is view from southeast here to west as it's a other way. So sort of on the dome. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head. I'll have to ask him. I'll have to shoot him a thing. So remind me with that as well. And I'll see if I can find out from him. Okay.
Lovely. That'd be great.
All right. Anything else?
I came across your material, other folks, of course. and Rob Skiba and so on a few years ago, I was preparing a cosmology presentation for the youth group at church, and that's where I thought, well, we know the Earth is a sphere because we've got pictures, and that was the question that I looked up the pictures, and everyone believed that, right? And then, that there was actually the question of, well, is that true? Is that real? That's how I got into investigating it. Yeah.
Nice. Very, very cool. Hey, I got to let you go, unfortunately, because there's a couple calls I want to pick up before the show wraps up. Okay. But thank you. And shoot me an email after the show. Okay.
Awesome. Thanks, Matt.
See you, man.
Care.
Take care.
Bye. All right. Now we're going to pick up 646. 646, Nicole, I'll give you 3 minutes. What do you got?
3 minutes?
Yeah.
That's all I get is 3 minutes?
That's
Well,
all.
I'm actually
Look, I'll talk
calling
to you
just
later,
because
but on the show you get 3 minutes, or you can just, get stuff.
3 minutes? Are you going to list that on your Flat Earth Love dating profile?
You're killing me.
I can't actually hear myself.
And you wonder why we don't talk more. This is one of the reasons right here.
Okay. Anyway, I'm actually just calling in because Lowry forgot to mention Mr. Devlin, Mark Devlin, who was at Flatoberfest, and he's going to be speaking in Philly on 4-3 and Boston on 4-4, and we will be in the audience on 4-6. And yeah, we can also talk about your dating profile for your Flat Earth Love future profile.
Look,
later.
It's nice. Thank you, by the way. I appreciate concern. I'm not suffering. And let's face it, Ted is unavailable. So what am I supposed to do? Yeah.
I mean, geez,
but I know you worry for me. I know this.
I do, and it's just too much a conversation, and you only gave me 3 minutes, and so I have to go. So you guys all.
I'll run into you, I'm sure, in less than 30 minutes, so it'll be fine.
If you're lucky.
Oh, the arrogance. Oh, and then she hangs up. Bitch. Okay, let's pick up 949. Let's pick up 949. And then we'll do Zulu, hopefully. 949 out in Los Angeles, California. What's happening, DJ?
Hey. What's up, guys?
Hey.
How are you? Hi, Karen.
Great. Hey, what's up, DJ?
Nothing much. Just had a wellness day at the gym. I'm actually in the hot tub right now.
Of course you are.
So if you hear a little splishy splashing around, it's beautiful out. It's like looking at the stars, the bubbles are going. But I just actually did a roll and recover class. Have any of you guys ever done that with a foam roller?
No. No, and I've got
nice.
a foam roller. I
have
do.
a foam roller too, but I don't.
This was like an hour-long foam roll class where this teacher was beating us up, so I feel really good. And I wanted to call in and just bear with me while I try to word this for the community, just because I didn't get to hear the beginning of the show, but I just had this thought, and I actually want to just talk to the listeners for a second. So I'll make it quick, but what I love about the community is bravery, and that they're, willing to stand up and question things and to not be afraid of going against the norm, but doing that myself, and I'm sure many others, feel that cold shoulder of someone in their life that just can't bring themselves to lend you their curiosity or to listen and let you explain how this could connect to that, and it just starts to be this overwhelming chore for the listener, because they can't piece it all together. And so if you're feeling that isolation from family, friends, loved ones, I just want you to know you're not alone. And I want to remind the listeners that if you are getting shut down from people you respect and admire and just want their time, keep your head up and don't let yourself get too frustrated if you're feeling that way. Don't get too down. Questioning everything is actually what we should be doing. But the good news is that truth doesn't have to defend it. Truth will defend itself. We don't have to necessarily defend it. So all I'm really trying to say is if we demonstrate patience, compassion, and empathy, I feel like people who did make decisions about their bodies that maybe they regret over the past few years, they're starting to feel that overwhelming sense of hopelessness. And especially as headlines start to pile up and it just becomes something they can't ignore. And if you are someone that feels that way, that I'm praying for you, and that we can keep our heads up and look up, because ultimate good is listening, and ultimate good does win. And I just want to tell everyone that I love them for the support that I've been shown, and that this community is meant to support the people that already come to this information, and also be patient for those who are going to get there. And so I hope that helps somebody, and I just wanted to let you know you're in my prayers.
Well, thanks, DJ. That was very nice.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah. And you're right. There are a lot of people, you're right out there. As the years have gone by, and I did talk about this in the earlier part of the show somewhat, which was there are people that have made decisions that it's coming back to bite them, and these are permanent decisions. And when they run into people like us that are open-minded and we're still upbeat and we're still pushing forward, it's almost like they don't want to hear it. They definitely don't want to hear "I told you so." But even seeing us reminds them of that, which is like, ah, crap. It's this guy again, which means I'm going to have to, they're going to talk about something that's eventually going to lead back to the situation I'm in, and I don't want to hear it. And I get it. I get it. Some of those people they're going to be more closed off nowadays. And what was the time? We all believed in the globe at one time, just wasn't medically hurting. Yeah, true. Life is a learning experience, says Peanut. Yeah. Yeah, good point. So, yeah, I agree with everything you said there, DJ. Everything. 100%.
Well, thank you. I hope it came out right. All I can tell you is that the truth wins, and if we're just kind of on that side of it, then we just got to be, pulling the rope to help them to this side with our patience and empathy and compassion and not getting frustrated, even though it is frustrating. And we all wish that we could just show people and make it make sense right away, but it is a process. And so if you're out there, I just want you to know I love you guys, and thank you, Mark and Karen, for all the hard work you do and making a difference. And, calling in is fun for me just to share my thoughts, and I hope that, God is listening. So I'm praying.
Thank
you.
All
right, guys. I don't know what to say, and I'm getting embarrassed. I gotta hang up, but I love you all. Have a great night.
have a nice time in the hot tub. Oh, and he hung up. I'm not going to call him a bitch, so that's fine. Because he's living large in L.A. All right, can we wrap it up with 845? I think we should. Here we go. Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I want to be a part of it. In a hot tub with DJ.
New York, absolutely.
Yep.
I was going to say, Mark, your future ex is a sweetheart.
I know, isn't he?
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And I immediately I was like, whoa, hot tub, Mark.
Yeah, thank you. Right. I'd pay to watch that movie. Yeah.
Hi, Karen.
Hi.
Hey, Peanut. Oh my God. You guys are killing me tonight.
Yep.
And I love how you started at the beginning. We're not going to talk about the bridge, and it keeps coming up.
I know it keeps. Well, I'm prefacing. The bridge is a teaser because I'm sure by next week there's going to be more about the bridge. So, yeah, short version.
Yeah,
ninjas.
There's going to be
the
more
first
about the bridge.
excitement we've had in years. We haven't had anything like this. Like that, actually, mainstream douches are like, could this be an attack?
Yeah, could it be? Could it be? Maybe.
I'm like, really? Even those guys are playing that angle?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the most action we've had in a while. I mean, and it will fuck shit up. And like Karen said, the other bridge collapsed during the other earthquake on the other side. And, I get it. It's going to fuck shit up for a while. The traffic, the fucking, like you said, the hazmat. Now they have to use tunnels. No, they'll just drive around because they're not going to pay for it.
No, they'll drive around. And all the boats right now that we're going to go into that port, they're scrambling. So all the other ports are going to have increased volume for a while.
Yep.
So,
yeah, you got to send them somewhere.
Yep. Yeah. No, the tunnels is your last option. Absolutely last option. That's the whole point. You don't want to try do anything hazardous inside a tunnel because, as you know, something happens. Oh, nightmare. You might as well just fill it in with cement.
Not where anybody wants to deal with that shit. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
I mean,
nope.
that's when the real.
Oh, and I forgot to answer the phone. Imhotep.
Imhotep.
Kelly, you fucking kill me. Oh my God.
That's a movie reference, people. 1999, The Mummy.
Yeah.
One, Brenda Fraser.
Mummy.
Greatest year in movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good movie. Funny.
Yeah.
So the King and Kate are gonna die of turbo cancer soon. Is that what's going on
Yeah,
over there?
I don't know how the timing's going to work out because Charles, he's not. I mean, he actually made an Easter appearance, but they had to roll him out. He had to come out. It's like you can't have both of them not show up. She's not going to show up at it for anything for a while, but he's going to show up as long as he can to buy them time, and then yeah, we'll see. We should probably take bets on which one. I would imagine they would.
Which one pops first?
I would say it'd be him first.
So fucking ridiculous.
Because it's more appropriate from a royal standpoint.
Yeah, and he's way ancient.
Yeah.
So if King Charles dies, does that means it's Prince William becomes king? Does
Yes.
he become King William?
Yep. And then Kate becomes queen. That's how it works. Yeah.
Yep. And
whatever.
Yeah, and she can't, right? She can't be queen mother.
No, well,
double.
No, because she married into it. So no. I mean, she's still queen, but there's a term for it. It's
Queen Regent.
Queen Regent, or yeah, something like that. So
Gotcha.
yeah. But again, I would not
Oh,
place
hey, Mark,
money-
I want you to wear my shirt before you give it to me. You don't have to wash it either.
I figured.
Just saying.
Much, you big perv. Sure, I'll do it.
Mhm.
Rub some funk on it. Yeah, you bet. I'll do it for you.
Yep.
You have to let me know if you guys. Yeah, I'll announce what shirts I am wearing during the show, and then if anyone wants one, let me know if whatever event we do in the future, and I'll bring it for you. So
Okay, not Queen Regent, because that's when a woman inherits the crown in her own right.
oh crap! Somebody find out. Well, anyway, we'll figure it out before it's over.
Queen
We got
consort.
Queen.
Consort.
Oh, Queen consort. That's it.
The most common kind of queen in history, the wife of a king.
Yeah. Now, if she dies, though, he can remarry. And then.
Right.
Yeah.
And if he dies, she'll become Queen Dowager, which means.
Yeah, well, that's not going to happen. This is.
Well, I don't think that's going to happen either.
No. Anyway, what else you got, Zulu?
Solar powwow 4824, just like we've been talking about. I want to see if we see that devil comet. That'll be interesting. As NDB wrote in the chat, it's bridge season. I thought that was fucking hysterical. I didn't even take down my COVID.
It's bridge season. Nice. And by the way, if the devil comet, if you're in the path of the eclipse, the devil comet shows up, there's like, from what I've read, the studies, there's like a 2% chance that the vampires will actually turn into demons with wings. That's just hearsay, but I'm going with it.
Stop teasing me. We had aliens for a couple years we were waiting for, but oh my God.
All of a sudden,
Whatever happened to the aliens at the Florida Mall? Whatever happened to that?
Right, those guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
All of a sudden, if your vampire turns
New
red,
York, right, Lowry? They got crazies over there.
Yeah. Well, you guys will know pretty quick because
Oh,
remember, an
God.
hour. So if Texas all of a sudden starts getting obliterated, you in New York, you've got about 45 minutes to move one way or the other. You got time, but you're gonna have to drive fast.
Right. I got that covered.
I shouldn't be wasting those. I should be using these next week. Anyway, what else you got, man? We gotta wrap this thing up.
Quick quote.
Yeah.
Quick quote. This is the power of gathering. It inspires us delightfully to be more hopeful, more joyful, more thoughtful, in a word, more alive. And I'm just saying that because we'll be seeing each other in what was it, 12 days?
Yes.
Days. So it should be fun. See everybody. I can't wait. Shout out to Mark Sargent, Karen B, Peanut, Jerome, Ice Queen, NDB, everybody in the chat. Love you guys. Peace. Oh, Nicole too. That was very funny the way she hung up on you.
Yeah.
Bitch. That was hysterical.
Frickin' harlot. All right. Let's we'll be back next week. Same flat time, same flat channel. Say goodnight, Karen.
Good night, Karen.
We're gonna do a little Francis Scott Francis Scott Key on this next one. Say good night, Zulu.
Good night, Zulu.
Yeah, close enough. And Peanut just shakes his
that was
head.
pretty good.
It's like, what am I a part of? He doesn't agree. That's it. Roll cameras.
Smoke them if you got them.
Smoke them if you got them. Hot sex. Good night, everybody.
Hot sex.
Hey, it's Alex Lowry. We talked to him briefly.
Who we don't like.
I know. Thank God it was only briefly.
Oh my God! Hashtag fuck Lowry. What's that?
I should have given him like 2 minutes. That's what I should do with Lowry. You got 2 minutes.
That's messed up, y'all.
I know, right?
ever been. Wound up chasing stars all over again. There's words for what you got, what you have, and what you'll ever need. Love so many nights, so many nights, so many ways to believe.
Mike Jack. Jack.
You realize it's the same link every week. It never changes.
Yeah, I know. I should paste it somewhere, I think.
Hello, Daisy. Hello,